Hi, Omari. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. It's really great to speak with you, and I absolutely loved this film, Sisu. I thought it was incredible. I wish I'd saw it on the big screen. I'm a bit gutted about that, but I hope to see it in the future soon. So I guess I know you've said that it's inspired by First Blood, and what is it as a filmmaker yourself? What is it about those movies where the protagonist defies all odds? What is it that appeals so much to you as a filmmaker and to audiences watching?
Uh, I didn't get the part where the what you were saying about the main character was. I didn't hear the question.
Oh, so with movies like First Blood, where the character sort of defies all of these odds, what is it that is so appealing about that to you as a filmmaker and to audiences?
To me, at least, it was so great to, if you're talking about First Blood or with Sisu, to have a guy in the beginning that you don't know anything about, and you're basically not telling anything about either for a long time. You just see that he's a guy, and you have these small clues like that. Okay, this guy has been in a war probably, and this guy is something like this or something like that, and I really love when that is like unleashed in a way that we can see what this guy is capable of. You shouldn't mess with this guy. That's something which is like really satisfying for me, and not to have the guy. He doesn't talk about himself because he's so tough that there are people who are telling stories about him throughout the film, like what is this guy that you are dealing with, that you should be careful, you should probably stop now, you should do something else, but they never listen.
And I mean, he's absolutely someone you wouldn't want to run into on a dark night. And I'd like to ask, the relationship between an actor and director sort of relies on collaboration, and you've worked with Jorma on several of your films by now. So how has your professional relationship developed with him? And when it came to approaching this character, how with him, maybe you both had different visions. How was that process?
It was really clear from the beginning. We know each other so well that Jorma knows what I mean when I'm explaining what I want to do, and I know what he's capable of, and that's the relationship basically what I definitely needed to have to be able to do this kind of film where the main character doesn't speak. I need to know that he's like, I can't even imagine how would it be to cast somebody to do this if I didn't know him really well beforehand, because it's a huge risk of like being in a situation where the actor just can't deliver what is needed.
And you have this silent protagonist, and I think in this instance it worked really well. And I wanted to ask, when it came to writing the character, did you find that quite challenging with how you could tell the story with little dialogue?
Yes, in the beginning it was hard, and not only with the fact that the most of the length of the script comes from dialogue, that I was afraid that the script will be something like 30 pages long. But after the first shock, it really helped me to find a ways of thinking more like cinematic ways of telling the story, and it led to a screenwriting which almost was like writing a novel or something, because you have to describe everything really in detail to help the reader to understand what's going to happen here.
And with the filmmaking industry, it's a very adaptive environment, and it's constantly evolving. And can you tell me a little bit about your initial vision for this project and how that developed and became to be, or maybe differed from the final product that we were getting to see?
In this case, there wasn't so much things changing because it was so fast. I wrote it so fast, and Petri and the other producers, they financed it really fast, and we went to shoot it really fast. So the same energy was like from the screenwriting to the screen, and I think it's a really good way of doing a film, because you don't get to that point where you could like question all your ideas in some point, because it will happen if you have enough time. Like, okay, is this good enough? Do I need to change that? And it's not always a good thing to start to switching things to a different places. So it was, I think it was really the same product from the starting point to the end.
And what I think Sisu does incredibly well, actually, is the balance between storytelling, the narrative, and the action and gore. Sometimes that can be done quite distastefully in films, but with this one, I was really invested in what was going on. And at what point do you draw the line? Like, how much gore is too much? How much action is too much? And how did you manage to achieve this balance?
Well, I think that the balance is luck in a way. Like, it's impossible to like plan how much are you gonna do something or not. It just is a feeling of something that, okay, this is too much or this is not enough. But I'm really proud of the tone, because I take it seriously. Like, I'm not doing fun of the main character. He's a serious guy, and I wanted him to be a serious guy, and I'm not making fun of him or anyone else. But what's important to me to have this kind of tone, that when the violence is happening, it's not going to be like dark or it has to have a flavor of entertainment in it, because I don't like violent movies which are at the same time like horrifying and disgusting and stuff like that. I want it to be so that it's able to entertain people.